We live. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Straight Up Tennessee. Today, on this Sunday, it is the next day episode. You already know, man, Tennessee takes care of business as usual, as they should. What we expected, honestly, against Austin Peay as well. Had Tennessee played this way against Austin Peay, would we be upset? Right? Like, I believe that we would be feeling just as good right now. Right now. Like, we would be like, yes, this is the team we thought. This is the team that's doing what they're supposed to do. Tennessee wins yesterday, man, 45-14, right there in Neyland Stadium. It's the boys, man. It's the next day. Y'all know what we're doing. We diving all the way in from what did we feel good about? What did we like? I can't wait. I got a lot that I liked about yesterday.
We hadn't even talked yet.
We haven't talked. Turn didn't get to go to the game, which we'll dive into everything, man. We'll dive into everything here just shortly. You already know what it is, man. It's your boys from Straight Up Tennessee. This is the next day episode on a nice Sunday. Let's get this thing kicked off the right way. Let's go.
From 40, on the way, a knuckleball.
Yes, sir. What's good, everybody? Welcome to Straight Up Tennessee today. It's the next day episode on a Sunday. Y'all know what to do, man. It's the top of the show. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification right now if you're listening on YouTube so you never miss an episode. This week is a big week. I think, personally, the real season starts on Saturday against South Carolina at 7:30 under the lights. Oh, my God. We'll talk about that shortly. But if you're listening right now, it's Monday for you, all of our Apple and Spotify listeners. Thank you so much, man, for what y'all do, how y'all continue to love and support the show as well. Continue to rate us 5 stars everywhere you listen, and let everybody know, man, why they need to be listening and tapping into the boys from Straight Up Tennessee. It's your boy Ruck in the building. Turn is with me. Turn, you didn't get to go to the game, number one, sad day, but other things that you were doing were more impactful, I would say.
Yeah.
But did you watch the whole game? I guess that's my first question.
So I watched all the way up. I watched Nico's first drive, and then I had to turn it off.
Got it. So you basically watched the whole game because that was 6 minutes left, 9 in the fourth. So, man, gosh, bro, there was. Everybody, here's the most hilarious thing about last night's game. That's just hysterical to me is when you win big with Tennessee's fan base. We are the most interesting group of people I think I've ever met in my entire existence of life. You beat UTSA the way you're supposed to beat them, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's UTSA." If we would have struggled, we would have been like, oh my God, we're struggling against UTSA.
Yeah.
So it's like, can you make up your mind? Like, can we just be happy? Is there any way that we can just be happy? And I don't think that we're going to see that kind of settle in until Saturday's results. I think Saturday is going to be the determining factor on how people think about QB1 Joe Milton, who had a great game up until late in the second quarter. He goes down with a super weird tackle, comes back out with a leg sleeve. We'll talk about that too here shortly. But I feel like Saturday's game against South Carolina is going to be the one that either splits the fan base in half, or we're like, wow, y'all, like we might be a lot better than we initially looked against Austin Peay and Florida.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I just think, talking to a Tennessee fan, like you seen, unless Joe Milton gets hurt, Unless Joe Milton gets hurt, Nico's not going to see the field unless we're up 30-plus points.
I saw a crazy stat. Joe Milton never took the field last year if Tennessee didn't have 50.
Yeah.
Think about that. When we had 50 points every time we put in relief at the quarterback position. Super weird. But man, before we dive into just some points, man, that we have, you already know we got to jump in the chat. The boy Dylan Elam, shout out to you, Dylan. He said, Mr. Milton got his swagger back. Mr. Milton got his swagger back. Chris, what's good, my bro? Still need those easy throws from Milton to connect. He played much better, but still has room to improve. 100%. And I have a lot of good takes on what Joe did last night. But then I also have still some simple concerns that just over time have still proven true about Joe Milton at the quarterback position. Dylan, we figure out the season we have Saturday night. Tennessee opens up as 13-point favorites. If you haven't seen it, the line has changed a little bit now. Tennessee actually is 11.5-point favorites against South Carolina on Saturday. It still is very eye-opening, though, because you would think with the way Spencer Rattler's playing and the volume that he is throwing the football, there was one point last night against Mississippi State that he was 18 for 18.
Well, you know what it is.
Quick, hot game.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about why we're 11.5-point favorites.
Oh, 7:30 in Neyland Stadium.
Yes, I mean that is the factor. I mean that is the factor.
I mean, but then also, but yes, that is 100% the factor of why we're 11.5, right? But at the same time, we are better than you. And we'll talk about South Carolina at the end of the show. I could say screw UTSA right now and talk all about South Carolina. But that's what the Who is South Carolina game or Who is South Carolina show is tomorrow. That's what it's for. And we'll talk a little bit. We'll dive in a little bit to them because obviously that's what we care about, right? Like we want to know what Tennessee team's going to show up this coming weekend. And if it's the team that played the first half and they deleted the first two drives of the third and the way they played, man, woo! It could be a tail whooping, straight up, be honest. But, sir, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about this Tennessee and UTSA game. From the jump, I could just tell you, warm-ups where it was kind of dead in the stadium. It was kind of quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Hear every word of the lyric, like on those games where the music's on and like everybody's talking around you and, you're the people, you can't really hear what's going on. And you hear everything. It was kind of dead. Team goes out for warm-ups. They go back. Band comes out. And that's when everything just changed. Because if you guys don't actually know, this is the first game legitimately that Tennessee ran through the T. Yes, in Nissan Stadium, we ran through the T, but I was there. Can I explain? The T was open for literally about 35 seconds before the team started running through it. That ain't running through the T. That's through a T that's been open. You hear what I'm saying? That's not it. This was the first time we got all the pregame. We got everything we paid to see. And what happens? It's a different kind of juice in the stadium. I'm telling y'all.
It is, man.
They hit the starting lineups. Everybody's screaming, losing their minds. The band. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? What? Yeah. The band hits the clap, and it at that moment, the energy just went from like a -20 literally to a 10, like that. And you saw the energy, man. Like first play, 81 yards to the crib. Me and you have talked about this. We have said, what do we have to? Tennessee's quarterbacks under Heupel have had a trend. We say this all the time. They need to run the football to get in a rhythm. Like anytime we came out, and I think about it this way, the Pittsburgh game in 2022, when we went to Pittsburgh, the first drive, we threw the ball 3 straight times. We got it completed to Cedric on the side, incomplete the second, and then the third pass was an overthrow on Jalen Hyatt, right? Dylan, Let me pull this up. You want me to tell you what it is? Joe Milton is literally Cam Newton. You see him running. He's running so fast, actually, because there are safeties and corners that run 4.5s that cannot catch him. His stride, like watching him stride. When Squirrel goes in motion, I'm instantly thinking, like, there's no way they're gonna let him run the, like, I'm thinking there's no way they're gonna let Joe pull this and he's gone, because the DM was crashing hard. I was like, I hope he pulls it. And
that was the first. I mean, you kind of just talking about it like the Pittsburgh game and stuff. Like quarterbacks got to run more. Like you gotta give the quarterback some freedom. I mean, that's the first time we've actually, and I think I'm like 99% sure that's the first time we've actually let Joe Milton do his own read.
yeah, he pulled it, like actually pulled it, actually ran his own read. Yeah.
All year.
But me and you have said this, bro. Hendon Hooker was so elusive and quick to where Hendon had the initial burst past the line of scrimmage. If that run was Hendon Hooker, he doesn't score. I promise.
No, he gets about 35, 40.
He might get 50. He might get 50.
And you've seen the speed when Joe hits it, and you're like, oh, he's about to get caught.
They couldn't catch him. That's the thing. It's like when I knew it was 6 when Brew held the block and Joe got past that. I said, it's over. I literally, people around me, we already high-fiving because I already knew. I'm like, bro, it's 6 because he really is that fast in the open field, bro.
Yeah, facts. It's just him. We've talked about it. It's just him getting to that next level. If he can get to the next level, he's gone.
Special. And so that set the environment, the tempo of the game. And actually, man, like, you sent me some things that you were excited about. I've got a few things, and what I'm pretty much calling for these next day shows, what did I love and some concerns. And so, like, the first thing that I really loved was that how efficient he was after that play. We get the ball back, drive 2. The tempo was like it looked like a Josh Heupel offense. It looked like it. And we haven't seen that efficiency all year. We haven't seen it. And so for it to look it just gave me so much hope for what's to come in the next few weeks, because it's the gauntlet is here, man. It's here.
Yeah, facts. And I sent you a message like yesterday. I literally talked to we still didn't talk. I just literally sent you a random message out of nowhere. I don't even think I replied to you. But like my key takeaways of the game, I sent Ruck 3 takeaways from from the game for me. Number 1, I said Joe's the guy. Joe's the starting quarterback, and us as Tennessee fans have to realize that, and we have to get behind Joe. Especially like if you go to the games and stuff, like you got to get behind Joe. Just because he makes one bad throw, I mean, you can't be like, oh, there's Joe again. I mean, you're gonna mess up. I mean, like I think it's Chris. What Chris said earlier. Does he need to improve some? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. But
I got a lot to say about that.
Yeah, but we got to be behind our quarterback. And number 2, man, linebackers have to improve, in my opinion, because Beasley went out pretty early. I don't know why.
They said he got nicked up a little bit, but it was all precautionary. Same with when Jalen Wright got binged. I think his looked like a concussion.
I think
Ramel's was either a concussion or a shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you notice, when Ramel walked off the field, the trainer had his helmet. Usually that means they got a concussion.
Yep. So I hope not. But if so, Caleb Webb, I was excited to see him step up for sure.
Because I was reading a VolQuest thing. Did you know? Here's the guys that left the game early, and
we're gonna talk to you real quick, Eddie. We're gonna pull it up and we'll talk about it in just a minute, bro.
Man, I don't even know what I was gonna say because I read that and I was like, oh man.
Oh, dude.
But no. Number 3, I said we got to get there is no reason at all that Dylan Sampson should not touch the football in a foot.
He needs 15 to 20 touches a game. In the past game, it doesn't matter. That man is a problem.
You got to get him in open field. In open field, he's a monster.
Well, man, did you not love that second touchdown of the game? It's 3rd and 6. We're in the red zone. God, bro, he hit that hole so fast. He dipped his shoulder. I was like, okay, Sam. Okay, Sam. I see you, boy. Yeah. I mean, broke a tackle and then just kind of held on to that football because I was like, please don't fumble. I thought he was going to fumble, but man, he ripped it back and it was really nice. I was very, very pleased with Dylan Sampson, and I think he has shown us now that he's a nightmare. I mean, bro, every time he's in the game, something special happens. And that's true. That's true. Here, y'all, I'm gonna pull this up because y'all don't like this is crazy. Y'all need to see this, and I need everybody in the chat who has done this to give your personal opinion on what he needs to expect. Eddie the Don says, I'm going to my first VOLS game ever this upcoming weekend. What should I expect? Any recommendations? Go Big Orange. Eddie, I'm going to speak. Go ahead.
He says he's coming from Dallas.
Dallas. Wow. Bro, let me say it this way, Eddie. Because of what happened last year in South Carolina, in Columbia, this is going to be one of the best games to be your first ever game. Now, had Tennessee handled business last year and we be paying South Carolina, I think a lot of people actually might have sold their tickets to this game.
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. If I had never been to a Tennessee game before, or like let's say I've been to Tennessee games, but I'm a Tennessee fan, didn't have season tickets. If I'm going into this season, if I had one game to go to, I'm gonna pick South Carolina over Georgia.
Well, because of what happened last year.
Yeah, because of what happened last year.
But if you handle business last year, this game doesn't have as much hype on it as it does now, right? Like, so here's a couple of things that I'll tell you. Get ready to have a headache because, first of all, you're going to be waiting all day for this game. Like, you're going to be excited. And I'm going to be, we tailgating. It's going to be a party. Come hang out with us if you're in town early, bro. Hit us on Instagram at Straight Up Tennessee. Come hang out with me and the boys, me and Turn at our tailgate. Hit us up. That'll be a really dope thing. But also, expect an environment that you never thought could happen. Like if you've been to any NFL games, scratch that off. Like there's nothing. And my wife, I will explain it this way, and then I'll tell you some recommendations. In turn, you can chime in there. But my wife grew up in a little town outside of Birmingham, Alabama, which means she was born into Alabama fandom. Okay. She moved to Knoxville in 2014. And here's the thing. She would now tell you that she's invested in the Vols because, and she will tell you this straight up, that there is nothing like Neyland. People have experienced other venues and stadiums, and that's amazing. But she always says, like, there's just nothing like Neyland. And so, man, just expect an incredible experience. You're going to love it. It's going to be loud. It's going to be fun. The energy in the stadium. It's a night game, bro. You couldn't have picked a better game. But I agree with all of these guys, man, what they're saying. Dylan says, try to experience the whole thing. Vol walk, Vol shop, Calhoun's on the river, running through the T. It's a party. It's true, man. I think definitely number one, you definitely got to hit the Vol walk and try to get there early if you can. You know, game's at 7:30, right? So that means the Vol walk will be at 5:15. Yeah. Yep. Gates open at gates open at 5:30, so that means Vol walk will be at 5:15. Get to the Vol walk, get there early, because I'm telling you, I'm not lying. Especially for a game like this, the Vol walk, it'll probably be 70,000 deep. I'm not lying. It'll be insane down there.
It'll be insane.
So you'll definitely want to get there early. VOLS shop is in the student union, literally right across the street from Neyland. So, I mean, when I say it's less than a 5-minute walk from gate 21, it is less than a 5-minute walk. So hit the student union. You'll see it. Everybody's in there. Like everybody's in there. Go experience it. Get you nice stuff. It's really dope. Actually, I went into the student union VOLS shop for the very first time this past weekend, and I will probably never do it again because it was just insane. But I would do it on a regular day. But for you, you got to experience it. It was lit. Yeah, man. There's a lot. I don't know. There's a lot you got to do. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here trying to think of something you didn't say, man. It's honestly like it's really not like things to do. It's more like experiences. If that
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
like I mean, you can go to Calhoun's on the River and eat. Yeah, it's great. And like, but like the Vol Walk, like that's an experience. Like just the environment of that Knoxville is going to be that whole day is going to be insane.
Oh, he's there on Thursday? Oh, bro. Yeah, you're going to get a taste of Knoxville as a whole. That's awesome. That's really sick. That's awesome, bro. I'm excited for you. Oh, I'm excited for you. That's really cool. That's going to be fun. I'm telling you, you're going to have a blast. It's going to be really fun, especially after the Vols get a dub, but um kind of back to this UTSA game a little bit. From what I love, like I told y'all, the consistency from the top of the game, the flow of the game, I should say, not consistency. The tempo is what reminded me of all of Josh Heupel's years here. The tempo was smooth. It wasn't just fast and no execution. It was fast and we were executing, which led to us scoring on 4 out of our first 5 4 out of our first 5 drives, touchdowns, not field goals. Like that's what that team did last year so well, and that's what put teams in a hole. It was touchdowns, not field goals, and we saw that against UTSA, and it just made me happy. It made me excited.
Yeah, man. One thing that really stands out to me, and like I said this last week on the show, and I'm gonna say it again. Brent Hubbs said it. He said, "I don't care if the first 2 plays don't work out." He said, "In Josh Heupel's offense, just keep the tempo up.
That's it.
Keep it up, and you'll wear down that defense. And something is going to work. I promise you. I don't care.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you run the football screen. I don't care if you run 6 screens in a row.
Yeah.
After you got that third, fourth screen, that defense gonna be dead.
Dead.
Okay,
Every time.
we gonna have somebody wide open down the field. I promise you.
Oh yeah. Um, the second thing for me was how well Joe Milton played in that first half, man. I mean, at one point, Joe was 14 of 19 for 156 and 2 scores.
Mhm.
I mean, the efficiency, like I said, just the way he was operating, he was pushing guys to get on the football. And I think you saw what I saw was a lot of urgency that I hadn't seen all year, to be honest. I
Yeah.
saw guys look urgent. I saw guys look prepared. I saw guys hungry for that next play. Whereas it was like in the last few games, it's felt like we got to run another play. And then it was a wasted play. It'd be like a dive for 2 yards, like it was pointless. But we saw it was just flow, flow, flow. And Joe Milton was a huge, huge part of that because the balls he was throwing during those high tempo situations were legitimately like dimes. He was getting in and out of the pocket, making sure his feet were in the right place when throwing the football. At the point of release, are his feet balanced? Is he balanced in the pocket? He was all of those things up until about 2 minutes left in that first half. He gets tackled. I mean, we had like a 3rd and goal on like the 6 or 7, and he gets sacked, rolled up in a pile. When he was down, I was like, oh, shoot, we're in trouble. But he pops up, and after that, he just really never looked as crisp. Now, is that mental, or do we go with history and say, well, he has always struggled with consistency in his career? I don't know which way I lean, but there was a definite difference after the knee injury.
There was 100%, man. And man, do you know we had 4 drives that we scored 90 seconds or less? 4 touchdown drives were 90 seconds or less.
That is the Josh Heupel offense, bro. That's it. Like that is the depth. That is it. And it was nice to see that because we hadn't really seen that all year, bro. Like we haven't really seen it, and it just made me happy. The third thing for me that I loved was that boy Dylan Sampson. I mean, we talked a little bit about him earlier, but 11 carries, 11 touches, y'all. This man, over the course of the last 3 games, was only averaging 3.1 yards a carry. Follow me, team. 3.1 yards a carry. This brother touched the ball in the backfield 11 times for 139. 12.6 yards a carry. 2 touchdowns. And I understand it's UTSA, Ruck. Shut up. Y'all, I'm just, you got to call a spade a spade. The boy went to work and played fantastic.
I mean, I think Jay Wright's our guy. I really do. If Jay Wright's fine, but man, I really do think, and nothing against Jay Wright here, but you know how we like to, send Jay Wright out in motion, throw it to him real quick, or we like to spread Jay Wright out, get him a little screen. I think Sampson does better. In that. Just because he's so dude, you seen it when he gets an open field, bro?
Chris said it.
Do you see that picture?
Chris said it. Sampson is Kamara 2.0. There was an image of them sitting like right beside each other. I couldn't have told you who was who.
Well, and
body style is like the exact same.
When D Samp even said it when he came on the show, I mean, that's his dude. That's
he loves him.
That's who he like mimics his game after.
Right. Yep. And just going back, Dylan says Joe evading pressure inside the pocket multiple times, but just the way he stepped up, man, his feet weren't happy, right? A lot of people say Joe Milton has happy feet, which means like he bounces around a lot in the pocket and then he gets off balance and then he makes an inaccurate football throw. But what you saw yesterday was a lot of poise and composure, no happy feet. He was balanced. His body was aligned every time he was trying to throw the football. I mean, I think of one of the off-balance, off-platform throws that he had last night was the deep ball to Ramel Keaton for the touchdown. He's in the pocket. He's like, oh, crap. I see a guy pushing hard on my right. Let me get up in this pocket, move out, set my feet. He sets his feet and lets it rip, and it's a dot. And so it's like, that is what we need going forward, y'all, because it don't get no easier. You got South Carolina, you get a bye week, you got A&M, you got Bama, and then you got Kentucky. It doesn't get any easier from here. And so that's the Joe Milton we need to see. And Dylan Sampson's going to play a huge role. The third thing turned for me, bro, that I loved was, defensive turnovers, man. Warren Burrell gets his first interception as a Vol.
Yeah.
Tamarian McDonald, great pick right there. And if you watch that play, I didn't notice this live. I watched the game again today. That was like a delayed seam route. And he stayed in contain and stayed in position, and he was rewarded from being patient. And so T-Mac, shout out to you, my boy. That's huge, bro. Defense needs that. Like this defense needed to see that. And I think that they looked improved from the Florida game. Again, it's UTSA. I get it.
Tackling still got to get better.
I get it. I think that they definitely looked improved, though, from the Florida game. And I mean, and I know this, and this is what sucks about all of this, bro, is that the numbers are not bad, bro. You gave them this is how we got off the field. We were 50% on third down. They went 8 for 19 on third down. They were 1 for 3 on fourth downs. They had 300 yards, 319. They threw for 231. and they only rushed for 88.
Yep.
They rushed the ball 40 times. That's 2 yards a carry, bro. That's like really good.
But going into that game, I would have done the same thing. Seeing what Florida did to us.
I know.
And you see, man,
They
Florida,
suck, dude.
Florida
They suck, bro. They boo-boo, bro. I'm so mad we lost to them, bro.
Yeah.
They beat Charlotte 22-7. Them dudes are sorry, bro. We should have beat Florida, bro.
But
that's on us, though.
I think we did clean up a bunch of stuff that game, though.
Penalties were way down for sure.
I mean, you can sit here and say offensive line, and I would like to talk to you about that here in a minute because that Coop gonna be back Saturday.
Cooper Mays is playing. If I know a lot of y'all can't see this when you're watching on TV, man, but Cooper Mays was full go in warmups. He came out like in a full, like the last week, 2 weeks ago, he came out against Austin Peay, and he just came out in a jersey. Like he had his pads on, but he didn't have any gear on, no gloves, nothing. He came out like in a full everything. He had the knee braces on. He had the undershirt. He came out like he was gonna play, and so I think it was just nice, that he's back. And yeah, John Campbell did get nicked up on Saturday. Dylan says it. Nick Campbell Saturday too. Yeah, I think a lot of that stuff was precautionary, bro. I really do.
Yeah, because I mean, I was reading a VOLS article earlier, and I mean, I think it was precautionary because this is kind of a crazy list. Here's all the people that left the game. They left the game and didn't come back because they got nicked up. Jalen Wright, Brew McCoy, Ramel Keaton, John Campbell, Aaron Beasley, and Dominic Bailey. But
all starters almost.
Yeah, and you sit here and ask yourself, it's like, well, I mean, we're up, so 3 possessions. Like, why would we risk getting them injured?
Right.
We need the boy John Campbell. I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
Big time. Come next week. A couple things that concern me still moving forward that I have to address, and I just want to see the temperature of the crew here, the Straight Up Tennessee family, like if they agree with where I'm at here. We haven't put together a full game. We gave UTSA 2 touchdowns on those first 2 drives in the second half. It's like the defense just took their foot off the gas.
Yeah.
And if we do that Saturday, Spencer Rattler is going to execute and get 7. Like, that's what's going to happen. I'm just telling you.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He will.
And so I'm concerned about that thing. Is like the defense can't let up anymore. Tim Banks's defenses historically are better when they are always playing at a fast tempo and being aggressive. When we start trying to just send 4, when we start trying to play more soft coverage, we're screwed. We can't do that anymore. Like, just play. I know it was just UTSA. We have to play, y'all. Like, Tennessee's defense looks great at times, and then we look really, really bad. And that's due to the level of aggression. And how aggressive is Tim Banks doing in his play calling? We got to stay aggressive. And that's concerning me because we haven't seen it all year. We haven't put together a full game together, offensively and defensive, complementary for 60 minutes, and we have to have that against South Carolina if we're going to win on Saturday. And the second thing, really, all I have, the other thing that just concerns me is, man, bro, like you see Joe do what he did on the 81-yard run. You see Joe hit Ramel Keaton deep. You see him hit others deep. And you're just like, oh, my gosh, bro, this dude is a freak of nature. And then it just, in a snap of a finger, it just goes away. Like, Joe is, sadly, he's wildly inconsistent. And so what happens if he puts it all together?
I mean, we're unstoppable. I mean, you look at his final numbers, and you just take his first half numbers against his second half numbers. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, first half is lights out. Like that first half, I was like, okay, we've got it figured out. We back. Like we good. And then we come out after halftime, and it's like, man, yeah, and you need 60 minutes, absolutely.
Look, Clout 300 says, if Joe uses his athleticism like he did in the first half, offensive line makes their blocks and defense plays lights out, we really can win out. But they have to be clicking on all cylinders. And that's the thing. What happens when a little bit of adversity hits? Do we fold or do we fight through it?
Yeah.
I think back, and I always think back to this because it's the most recent memory of what that simplifies and exemplifies in my eyes. Tennessee, it's tied up. It's 42-42 against Alabama early in the fourth quarter, in the middle of the fourth quarter. We're on our negative 15-yard line. Missed exchange between Hendon Hooker and Jabari Small. Dallas Turner picks it up and runs it in the end zone.
Game over.
Every Tennessee team that I know, the game's over. Man, we played a good game, man. We almost beat Bama, and the game is over. Score was 49-42 at the time. Adversity struck. The stadium, when I tell y'all it was silent after that, we were just like, wow. We lost. Like I looked at my wife and I'll never forget it. She said, "Oh no." And I looked at her and I said, "I think we just lost." Like I was plain as day, wasn't sad. I was like, "I think we just lost." Because that's what we're used to.
Yeah.
But that team showed a little bit of grit and goes out there and drives down the field, and Jalen Hyatt scores on that seam post route in the red zone. What happens now? If we face a little adversity for the rest of the year, how does this team fight through it? How do we fight through adversity? That is my biggest question mark when it comes to how inconsistent Joe has been at times this year. And then just how inconsistent the defense has been at times as well. That is my biggest concern heading into SEC play.
Yeah, and I mean, when you go back and like you look at the throws, like the underthrows, overthrows, or whatever, I don't know if it's inconsistent. I think just going back and like watching the game, like the overthrow to Squirrel White across the middle of the field on the deep ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about the end zone.
Yeah,
the end zone throw.
I think they're still trying to figure out timing.
Yeah.
With Joe, because you watch that Squirrel White, he puts a move on dude and loses dude, absolutely loses dude. Hendon, I mean, it's that Jalen Wright play where he scores. Jay Wright makes a move, or Jalen Hyatt makes a move. Hendon hits him quick because
the ball was released before he was in his break.
Yes, because he knows he's going to do that move, and he's right there, and he's gone.
Yep.
And you go back and watch that play. Squirrel White does the exact same thing, but instead of hitting him early, he waits a little too long, and it's like, okay, now I got to throw it out of the park, which is fine if the consistency's there. But I think that's what I mean by like the timing issue stuff. Like it's okay to get the ball in their hands. Like when they make a move, get it to them.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. But all in all, for almost 60 minutes, take away 2 drives, I was happy with what I saw. Yeah, I was 100%. Happy with what I saw yesterday in Knoxville. And it just made me that much more excited for what's about to happen here in about 6 days, bro. This game is I don't like Shane Beamer, dude. I don't like that dude.
No, I don't.
He got LMS, bro. Little man syndrome, for sure. I can't stand him. I just can't. Agree with you, Dylan. As long as Josh Heupel is at the helm, adversity ain't gonna take over. We lost a bad one last week and had every reason to look terrible against UTSA. Buckle your chin strap and go to work.
Yep.
It's true, man. It's gonna be a big game this week, and we're gonna cover it, man. We're gonna cover it all freaking. And you know what? That's right. It is officially South Carolina Hate Week, little clout. We appreciate everybody, but it is Hate Week. I don't care about what is a gamecock? Like, what is that? Like a bird? That's stupid. Like you now I will say this is the only thing that you get a compliment for. Your jersey's hard. I like y'all jerseys. Y'all jerseys hard. I like that dark, that maroon, yeah, and that junk hard. The jersey's hard, okay. But what are you? Who are you? What is that? Nobody cares. We go in dark mode. I'm calling it right now. Dark mode. So if you got your dark mode shirts, you ain't got a shirt, I can promise you there's about 4 stores in Knoxville right now. Alumni Hall, one of them, VOLS Shop, Dick's House of Sport. Go get your dark mode. And you know what my dark mode shirt is, Turn?
What is that?
My black straight up Tennessee shirt. That's my dark mode shirt. Y'all ain't got that. That was limited edition drop. So when you see me in Neyland on Saturday with my straight up Tennessee on, it's game on. It's game on. But it's true. It's true, y'all. And listen, this is just the beginning of South Carolina Hate Week. We got a lot to talk about for the rest of this week. Tomorrow night, we are live 7:15 Central, 8:15 Eastern. Wednesday, you'll have a show. Friday, you'll have a show. And then it's game day. I don't know if this is confirmed yet, but we potentially might be doing a live show on Saturday, a live like kickoff tailgate show. I don't know if this.
Where was the boy at?
Where the man Chris? Yeah, there it is. Said, come to our tailgate by the Art Museum, best food and a surprise. I know what that surprise. The boys are gonna be doing a live show, man. It's gonna be lit. I can't wait. First of all, Chris, I can't wait to chop it up with you. I can't wait to first of all eat your food because I like food. But then second of all, we're gonna be chopping it up. We're gonna have a good time, man. It's gonna be a good day on Rocky Top. It did look like rain early in the day, but it's supposed to clear up. But now it's looking sunny again. So I don't know what it's gonna do.
Yes.
But excited, man. Y'all tap in with us all week, man. Tomorrow night, 7:15 Central, 8:15 Eastern. We're live for the Who Is South Carolina. We're going to dive into who they are. Solid team. I know that their record doesn't necessarily say solid. They're at 500 right now, but I'm going to say this right now, and I'm going to say it all week. Spencer Rattler is a dude, and he is the single most important factor to Tennessee winning this game. If we stop Spencer Rattler, we get him pressured, and he's under pressure, he will fold. I promise you. Watch the North Carolina game that they lost, and then go ahead and watch the Georgia game that they lost. When he was pressured, he folds.
When you get pressure on him, he forces.
He makes mistakes.
He forces. We got to get pressure. Got to get pressure.
Gets mistakes right here. You know, I love this. And we'll wrap up the show this way right here. Defense has to keep pressure on Rattler all night long. That was a little clout. But then also he says that's the only way we win this game. Dylan says that Spencer Rattler looks like a Q-tip. Shane Beamer celebrates being up a touchdown, down 28. And the whole state of South Carolina smells like your grandma's perfume. All my boys hate South Carolina. Oh, I love it. I love it. Mike Hunt says dark mode blitz crazy, make them see ghost. Oh, that's a lyric. Dark mode blitz crazy, make them see ghost. Ooh, y'all, it's gonna be a big week. I can't wait. And I love this from the man Chris. Spencer rattled. Oh man, y'all, shout out to Ann right there. Go Vols from Facebook. Going to be a big week. We love y'all. I cannot thank you guys enough for the love and the support. We appreciate you. We will be back tomorrow live tomorrow night. Tap in with us. Everybody go ahead and hit the bell notification right now so you don't miss the show. It's the Who Is South Carolina. We love y'all, man. We appreciate you. We will see you guys tomorrow night live for my dog turn. It's your boy Ruck in the building. And y'all know what it is. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. It's Gamecock Hate Week. I don't care about these. Let me get off the show right now, or else I'll be on here all night. I hate South Carolina. Go Vols. We'll see y'all tomorrow night.